Welcome back to the bettors on Monday morning, 29th of March. We have 3 days left until baseball starts. Super excited for that. Obviously, weekly stream schedule to start off the things. So, baseball starts in 3 days, as I said. From the baseball start, I will be switching to a fixed schedule. So, I will be streaming on every day from Monday till Friday, and I will take the weekends off. This will start essentially from this Wednesday. I'm skipping tomorrow as we have no MLB yet on Tuesday and only 4 NBA games. So yeah, the weekly schedule looks like stream on Monday. That's what you are watching right now. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So yeah, super excited for baseball. And also, as I said, I will be speeding things up a bit here. So the game breakdowns will be a bit quicker than usual, especially as we have tons of games with teams that are tanking, stuff like that, big spreads, big favorites in MLB. Likely, so yeah, we will just stick to the games where I feel there might be some value, and the rest of them will be just quickly talked about. All right, first game: Indiana Pacers at the Washington Wizards. Pacers laying 4.5 points on the road. This opened up at 2.5. I would have bet the Pacers instantly there, but obviously missed that. This bet online opener is from last night, so like 12 hours ago or so. Um, Pacers, interesting thing. They are kind of in the playoff mix, but I'm expecting good things from them to end the season. Levert is up to like 35 minutes a game. He had a couple of nice games recently. I think he will be able to truly help this team. On the other end, Wizards. Beal is questionable for this game. He's a tough guy, usually plays through these injuries, but really the question is if they will just shut him down for the rest of the season or for an extended period to make sure they are losing games. I think today will be a bit telling. If Beal sits this one out, I think he will continue to sit out his questionable tags from here on out. Wizards are 2-8 in the last 10. I think they have the fourth or fifth worst record in the league right now. Not a team I would want to back. Pacers fully healthy on extra rest. I make this 4 with the Beal in. So if you wanna maybe risk that Beal is in, a 4.5 is a fair bet in my opinion. If he's out, obviously that's a hugely plus EV bet, as Beal is the best player on the team by far. Wizards overall grading just as a 20th best offense, 25th best defense. Pacers are a bit better than average overall. Their defense is grading borderline top 10. Should be able to slow the Wizards down. A couple of notes why I don't like the matchup. Wizards are drawing the third most free throws in the league. Pacers are giving up the ninth most. This has been an issue for the Pacers through the entire season, and the Wizards are getting better and better throwing those free throws. Obviously, Beal and Westbrook are the best guys at doing this. Wizards putting up the third most mid-range shots in the league. Pacers are not an amazing defense against that. Overall, I don't think the matchup is great, but I am going to back the Pacers in the coming weeks. I think they will end the season on a high note, especially that they don't have a super tough remaining schedule. Minnesota Timberwolves at the Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn laying 11.5 points. I make this 10 with no KD. My fully healthy Brooklyn line would be around 12. Minnesota is getting Beasley back. He's averaging 19 points or 20 points. I cannot recall right now. Beasley and Russell were both out for a long time. One of them is averaging 19, the other 20. So yeah, Beasley is back, and Russell will be back pretty soon also. I think them being back will hurt Rookie of the Year candidate Ant-Man in the long run. I think these guys will will still have serious usage rate. Obviously, new coach, he might push the young kid up front, but still, I mean, Beasley and Russell will get playing time and good looks when they are back. So yeah, I'm staying away generally from these big spreads, especially that. While the Nets are matching up amazingly offensively against Minnesota, they are grading first in points per possession, first in effective field goal percentage, sixth in free throw rate, while Minnesota is in the bottom five in all these stats defensively. Minnesota's offense has been a bit more capable lately. Like they're still bottom 10, but not that bad. They've won 4 games out of the last 10, which is pretty great for them. And yeah, the Brooklyn defense in the paint is still just average, and Minnesota is putting up the third or fourth most shots from the paint. And they still don't have anyone to guard Karl Anthony Towns, no matter they brought like Aldridge in or stuff like that. I mean, neither Aldridge or Griffin will be able to defend Karl Anthony Towns. So yeah, I think the back door will be open here. No value on either side, in my opinion. Miami Heat at the New York Knicks. This is an interesting game. I really want to fade the Knicks going forward and back the Heat going forward, but this is a bad matchup for the Heat, in my opinion. So yeah, the Knicks are currently in the 4th seed in the East, and the Heat are the 8th seed. I think by in a few weeks or a month, this could be switched. So I really think we saw the best from the Knicks to start the season, and the Heat have been going through a terrible streak. Many guys were out due to COVID or injuries, stuff like that. But I mean, they have way more talent than what we've seen so far, and I think they will be able to figure it out. And I will be. I have a couple of like bets in Top Shot. I bought some guys on the Heat. I expect them to make the playoffs, and I think they can win one or two matchups there. So I'm kind of bullish on them, but this is not a good matchup for them. Let's talk about the injuries. So Oladipo has a cold or something. He will be out for this game. None with an ankle sprain. Obviously, like Hero likely getting insane usage. I will talk about him a bit later. His shooting has been really subpar this season. Knicks, Mitchell Robinson out with a fractured foot. Obviously, poor dude just came back and out with another injury. Randall and Bullock are both questionable. There's 2 starters. I think I make this around the Heat minus 3.5. If Randall and Bullock are out, maybe 4, but I think 4.5 is still a bit too much. So yeah, look at this. The Heat lost 6 straight games. Knicks won 3 straight. As I said, I really want to fade these trends, and I really want to back the Heat. But the matchup is bad. Knicks grade 9th in offensive and 10th in defensive rebounding. Heat grade 25th and 20th. One of the worst rebounding teams. They need to get better there. Also, Heat are putting up the 6th most threes in the league, but are just 25th in field goal percentage. Pretty similar stuff to the Houston Rockets. Those guys are also putting up one of the most amount of threes, but they are terrible at making it. Obviously, it's way more extreme with Houston. I think they are 30th in field goal percentage from downtown. But I mean, it's bad. And the Knicks allow the lowest field goal percentage to opposing teams from 3. And I talked about Hero briefly. His shooting has been so bad this season. It's incredible. He was almost at 40% last year from 3, and he's like 32% this year. I think Oladipo will help them, though, in the long run. I mean, I know that he was really bad with the Rockets, but when he was on the Pacers this season, he was shooting pretty decently, and I think he will be the starter going into the playoffs, and I think we will see quite a bit of resurgence from him. So yeah, as I said, the matchup isn't good for the Heat. I think with the rebounding disadvantage and the Knicks being such a good 3-point defense, I think this will be a tough game for the Heat. Although I would really want to have Randall and Bullock if I'm backing the Knicks here. Obviously, if those guys are in, I think this 4.5 is super off. Like, I will be jumping on the Knicks if they are announced in the first injury report, as I think the matchup is great. And as I said, I really want to see, and I'm expecting to see improvements from the Heat. But with Oladipo and Nunn both out, I think, and this being a tough matchup, this isn't the game where we will see those improvements. New Orleans Pelicans at the Boston Celtics. This is another very, very interesting game. I'm leaning towards New Orleans here. I think this is an amazing matchup for the Pelicans. We might see Fournier play here for the Celtics, but he is in the COVID protocol. He hasn't tested positive, but was in contact with someone, so he is officially questionable. Tristan Thompson still out. I think him being out and Tays getting traded makes this matchup even worse for the Celtics. I mean, they don't have anyone to cover Zion. Pelicans are first in offensive rebounding, fourth in free throw rate offensively. The Celtics defense grades 21st and 27th in these stats. So yeah, Pelicans will be able to get the offensive rebound, draw the free throws. Also, they are first in shot rate from the paint. 42% of all their shots come from within 4 feet of the rim. They are only 13th in field goal rate from there, but the Celtics are the seventh worst defense in the paint. So yeah, Pelicans huge rebounding edge, huge edge when it comes to free throw rate. They get to the paint. They have a way better offense in the paint than the Celtics can put up on the defensive end. And I mean, with Tays gone, Thompson injured, I mean, they are super thin. The front court, which was a bad front court to start with. I really like the matchup for the Pelicans here. They are getting 4 points. I make this around 3. Lonzo and Hayes are questionable for the Pelicans, but I don't think they really matter here. And the thing is that the Pelicans, they aren't a good defense overall, but Boston is they are spamming mid-range shots mostly, ninth most in the league. And the Pelicans defense is grading as a fifth best in field goal percentage allowed. So they just allow a 40.1% field goal percentage on average to opponents from mid-range. So I think overall this is an amazing matchup for the Pelicans, and at 4 I really like them. Memphis Grizzlies at the Houston Rockets. Memphis laying 5.5 on the road. Christian Wood questionable with an illness. I think he's the guy to track here. When Wood was out, Rockets were losing like 20 something straight games. I think if they just start to sit him, this will be the biggest tank job of the season for the Rockets. So yeah, just follow his status. If he's starting to pop up on the injury report as questionable and they sit him out, I think Rockets are a team that can be blindly faded. Obviously, third worst record in the league. They grade as the 28th best offense, 13th in defense. But my issue with the Memphis Grizzlies is that I cannot trust them, and I cannot trust them to lay points on the road. So overall, through the season, they are a great defense, top 10 wherever you look. That's you cannot question. Defensively, they just grade 21st in points per possession, and in the last 2 weeks, they grade 29th. They have a 21-22 record. They play 500 basketball. That's the thing. Like, Morant is a great player, but he isn't really like an efficient super scorer like Curry or someone. And the rest of the team, I mean, they don't have scorers. They badly need JJJ back. Matchup-wise, I mean, they will have a huge rebounding edge. 8th in offensive, 9th in defensive rebounding. Houston is grading 26th and 28th. One of the worst rebounding teams in the league. If Wood is out, I mean, that's an amazing mismatch on the boards. Also, Memphis is forcing the second most turnovers in the league. Houston is giving up the 9th most on the offensive end. Yeah, but Houston is a pretty decent defense against mid-range shots. Obviously, when they are fully healthy, and now Oladipo is gone, so yeah, we can somewhat throw these stats out the window. So yeah, I make this Memphis 5.5 if Wood is in, 7.5 if he's out. No edge right now, but if Wood is out, I think I would run and bet the Memphis Grizzlies at like 6 or better if you can quickly jump on that. I think Wood is really the heart and soul of what remains of Houston. Dallas Mavericks at the OKC Thunder, 9.5 is the spread, leaning towards 10. I make this 11. I think this isn't enough. I kind of like the Dallas Mavericks here. Although I haven't met it yet, OKC is allowing the third lowest field goal percentage from 3-point range, which is really all you need against the Dallas team. Although Dallas did make some serious improvements in the last 2 weeks. Offensively, they grade 6th and 17th defensively, which is amazing for them. This is a team that has been in the bottom 5 of the defensive rankings for most of the season. They were a decent defense when the season started, but they just fell sharply after that. So yeah, OKC, worst offense in the league right now, and while they have been an above average defense overall, I think with the current injuries, I will talk about that more that in a second. They aren't a defense that can be trusted, so that is why I'm kind of leaning towards them, and I might be able to end. I might end up on the Mavs at 9. I would 100% bet Dallas here. So yeah, OKC injuries: Beasley, SGA, Dort, and Horford all out. That's 4 starters. The team has been playing way too hard, and the owners just said that we are going to shut this thing down. And I don't think we will see Horford out for the season was confirmed already, and I think SGA and Beasley will be kept out as long as they can keep them out, making sure that they lose games. They are tanking for sure. This is an organization that made moves that made it super clear that they are tanking as much as they can. I think the defensive performance fell way too much for me to look at them in any matchup. But yeah, Dallas's improvements I think are legit, and I also expect them to make a run in and season with a pretty good record right now. They are, I think, in the like 8th, 9th seed, something like that. They will be, I think, in the top 6. They have one of the easiest upcoming schedules. 9.5 definitely leaning towards the Mavericks. Toronto Raptors at the Detroit Pistons. 4.5 is the spread. Toronto road favorite. No way you can bet the Raptors here. They are 1-9 in the last 10. They couldn't sell Lowry at the trade deadline. Gary Trent is a huge downgrade from Powell. He has been also playing pretty bad in the 2 games where he played for the Raptors. So yeah, they have the 7th worst record here. They are 2 losses out from the bottom 5, which obviously is a nice position to be in when it comes to the lottery. Toronto also playing a back-to-back here. They played pretty high minutes last night, 38 plus for the core guys. And this is also a 3rd game in 4 nights for both squads. But I mean, with the Raptors being on a back-to-back, I cannot lay this many points on the road with a team that's likely starting to tank right now. And yeah, the Pistons, I mean, they are the kings of tanking, lost 4 straight, 2-8 in the last 10, but they still have some huge advantages here. They are 12th in offensive rebounding. Toronto is the 2nd worst in the league in defensive rebounding. Pistons are drawing the 5th most free throws. Toronto is giving up the most free throws in the league. Detroit is attacking the paint at the 7th highest rate in the league. Toronto Raptors are relying the 8th highest field goal percentage there. Obviously, the Raptors still have a great offense from downtown, and the Detroit defense is grading 28th in field goal percentage allowed. So yeah, they could easily bury this Pistons team. But this isn't the Raptors team I will be backing for the rest of the season, likely. Sacramento Kings at the San Antonio Spurs. Spurs laying 2.5 points at home. I make this 2, and I'm leaning towards the Kings here. Thing is, Bagley out has been helping them a lot. I'm saying this always. Bagley is just not good. He is the least efficient offensive piece for this team, and I think they need to play run and gun basketball, and Bagley won't fit into that scheme. Halliburton is great in the starting lineup. They won four straight, although two of the wins came against the Cavs, and one game was super close, and they beat Golden State without Curry, which I don't grade as a W, really. But I mean, overall, Kings face the ninth toughest overall schedule, while the Spurs face the 26th, and I don't think there is too much difference between these two teams. And if anything, the Kings have some momentum right now. In the last 2 weeks, they grade as a seventh best offense, 15th best defense, which is again great for them as they are the 30th ranked defense through the entire season. As I said, 7-3 in the last 10. Matchup I don't think is bad. The Kings, one of those teams again. They have tons of sharpshooters, but they mostly shoot like longer mid-range shots. They put up the 10th most shots that could be graded as mid-range, and they are sixth in field goal percentage. The Spurs are a league average defense, nothing special. So yeah, I'm leaning towards the Kings. At 3, I would 100% bet them. 2.5 is kind of like a borderline bet for me. I passed so far. I want to be more selective as the deeper we get into this season. But I think you cannot bet the Spurs here. No way you can bet the Spurs and lay points with this team right now. Utah Jazz hosting the Cleveland Cavaliers. 16 is my number, and 15.5, almost 16 is the market number right now. I mean, I cannot do this. 16 is just way too many points. Backdoor will be open. Cleveland is the worst team in the league at the moment, but they are still second in offensive rebounding, third in turnovers forced. They attack the rim at the third highest pace, and Utah's defense in the paint is relatively weak compared to their top-notch defense everywhere else. And I mean, yeah, they should really win this game. They are great, way better everywhere. Cleveland is one of the worst three-point defenses in the league, but I mean, I just cannot lay 16 points in a position where I could see Cleveland keeping this close by like controlling the boards, forcing like 5-6 more turnovers in the game, and yeah, covering via the back door. So Bulls, Chicago Bulls at the Golden State Warriors. Bulls laying 4.5 points. Yeah, from a numbers perspective, you have to bet the Golden State Warriors here. I don't think there is anyone questioning that. I make this Golden State -1 if Curry is playing. He is questionable, but he had a full training yesterday. If Curry is out, I make this like Bulls -3, 3.5. Obviously, hugely important piece. May even be the 4, may be even like a fair number. But I mean, 4.5 is yeah, is a bit too much credit given to the Bulls. Although I have to tell you, the matchup is amazing for Chicago, and I'm very high on the Bulls going forward. Obviously, this lineup is brand new. Vooch only played one game with them, but I mean they grade as the 5th best defense against 3-pointers, and if you just limit the 3-point efficiency of this Warriors team, then you are likely winning the game. If Curry is out, all bets are off. Golden State doesn't have anyone who is an offensively an efficient shooter besides Curry. Everyone else with a 20% or a higher usage rate grades in the bottom 33% of the league in offensive efficiency. That's including all their like all the other shooters, Oubre, Wiggins, etc. Wiseman is the second best offensive piece on the team when it comes to points scored per 100 shot attempts. So yeah, if Curry is in and you get a +4, 4.5, that's an amazing bet from a numbers perspective. But I'm not going to bet the Warriors here. They are on extra rest, but I don't like the matchup. I think the Bulls can be way better with Vucevic, and I don't believe in the Warriors. We could see them going into the tank pretty soon, in my opinion. I think this is a super float team. But yeah, 4.5, getting 4.5 at home with which having no chemistry with the team yet, and Curry likely playing. I'm leaning towards him playing. So yeah, it's Golden State or bust, but I don't want any piece of the Warriors. I think going forward, yeah, likely. Milwaukee Bucks at the LA Clippers. Clippers laying 1.5 points. Line is kind of leaning towards one. So yeah, some Milwaukee money came in, or the bookies just put up a line that's shitty towards the Bucks. No official injury report for the LA Clippers. I'm not sure how the NBA is allowing this, but it happens almost every day that one or two teams are not uploading an official injury report when they should. So we don't know anything. And this is a huge issue as the Clippers have another game tomorrow. Uh, and they are known to sit guys. I mean, I just couldn't touch this game as we don't know anything. I kind of expect Beverly and Ibaka to sit this one out, and Rondo maybe. He's likely out as well, but obviously the big question marks are Paul George and Kawhi, if they will play or not. I would expect them to play. Obviously, this is a big game, but as I said, without an official injury report, this is just guesswork. Both teams have been playing very well recently. In the last 2 weeks, Milwaukee is 5-2, Clippers are 6-1. Both offenses are better than the opposing defense here by a pretty decent margin. Obviously, Clippers have the better and more efficient offense, and the Bucks have the better and more efficient defense overall. I think the Clippers have a way, way higher ceiling, but the floor has been non-existent, really. Milwaukee did punt the last game against the Bucks. They basically set out everyone and just took the L. Everyone will be back here. Offensively, the matchup is great for them. They either shoot a three or get to the rim. Clippers great as the 21st best defense in the paint and the 17th against threes. So yeah, not great by any means. But the Clippers, on the other end, they put up the sixth most mid-range shots, 10th in field goal percentage. Milwaukee defense grades 22nd. So yeah, both teams are facing good matchups for their offenses. I think this will be likely a higher scoring run and gun game. I don't think the spread will matter. This won't be like a one-score game, more than likely. I'm leaning towards the Clippers. Just as overall, I'm higher on them, and I think they have the more potential. And to me, they have, they are the side. But as I said, I make these Clippers -1, so no edge, no bet for me. All right, summing up the looks that I like today, not a lot. I really like New Orleans at 4. I'm leaning towards the Knicks at 4.5 if Randall is in, but I need him in and something like better than 4. Overall, long term, I like the Heat, and long term, I don't like the Knicks for the rest of the season. But this matchup is good, and if Randall is in, 4.5 is too many points. Pacers, look at this. Follow the injury news. Injury report comes out at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. If Beal is confirmed out, it could happen. Jump on Indiana. I lean towards the Dallas Mavericks at 9.5. I make this 11, I think. Yeah, let me just scroll down. Yeah, 10.5. 11. I think that's a plus CV bet getting on the Mavericks here. And yeah, kind of that's about it. And yeah, Golden State Warriors +4.5. Even if Curry is out, this shouldn't be 4.5. But I don't like the matchup, and I'm really high on the Bulls. So I'm not going to touch that personally. So yeah, lots of leans, borderline plays, but not too many strong looks. I think this will be how it will be from now on to the end of the season, with so many teams tanking and stuff like that. So this was the show for today. Thanks for tuning in. Tomorrow, as I said, is off. Only 4 NBA games, and we don't have baseball yet. But I will be back on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and we have tons of baseball and NBA. We'll speed things up a bit. Breakdowns will be shorter, and we will focus a bit more on baseball, obviously. All right. If you want to tell my plays, you can go to patreon.com/thebarrelzone. Sign-ups are open for the baseball season. I have my future bets up. I will likely do a giveaway on the 1st of April, like a Discord giveaway. You can likely get a yearly package. We will see about that, but I will tweet out everything. So please drop a follow at the Barrel Zone on Twitter, and I will see you guys in 2 days on Wednesday morning at the same time. Cheers.